thought it was going to be over by now.
It's going to be over to next
week. Yeah, but we did. We thought that was going to be over like last.
It was supposed to be. Did you see what he said?
You see what Brian said in response to? Don't even bump. Like it was honoring the White House until you got there.
Hey, that's what Kyrie say.
No, Steph basically big. I'm talking about the same since Steph Curry wasn't coming. And they invite a lot of folks into the White House. And Steph wasn't coming. That he canceled the invite. So then he tagged Steph in the tweet, like, he been saying he wasn't coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was honoring the White House until you got there.
Exactly. Steph was busy. I'm not going to be over that.
He said about all that there's protesting No, Ron, no. He tagged him in the tweet though. Let's pray in here. Let's pray in, y'all.
All minds clear? Deuteronomy or Devarim chapter 6 at verse 4. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Echad.
Yahuwah Echad.
Exodus or Shemot chapter 20 at verse 3. We will have no other mighty one.
We will have no other mighty one.
Against the Most High.
Against the Most High.
We will not make any carved image.
We will not make any carved image.
Or of any likeness.
Or any likeness.
Of that which is in Shamayim above.
Of that which is in Shamayim above.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
We will not bow down to them.
We will not bow down to them.
Nor serve them.
Nor serve them.
Yahuwah
Yahuwah
is a jealous
is
ill.
a jealous ill.
Visiting the wicked.
Visiting the wicked.
Of the fathers on the children.
Of the fathers on the
To
children.
the third and fourth generation.
The third and fourth generation.
Those that hate him.
Those that hate him.
But showing kindness.
Showing kindness.
Thousands of those
Thousands of
who
those
love him
who love him
and keep his commandments.
and keep his commandments.
We will not break the name
We will not bring the name of
Yahuwah
Yahuwah
in vain.
in vain.
For Yahuwah will not leave us unpunished.
Do not leave us unpunished.
Who brings his name in vain.
Who brings his name in vain.
We will remember the Shabbat day.
We will remember the Shabbat day.
And keep it Kodesh.
Keep it Kodesh.
6 days we will labor.
6 days we will labor.
Do all our work.
Do all our work.
But the seventh day
But the seventh day
is the Shabbat.
is the Shabbat.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
On 6 days,
For 6 days.
Yahuwah made Shamayim
Yahuwah made Shamayim
and the earth
and the earth
and the sea
and the sea
and all that is in them.
and all that is in it.
And the rest of the seventh day,
The rest of the seventh day.
therefore Yahuwah will rock the Shabbat day.
Therefore, Yahuwah will rock the Shabbat day.
We will respect our fathers
We will respect our fathers
and our mothers,
and our mothers.
so that our days alone
So that our days alone
upon the earth.
on the earth.
We will not murder.
We will not murder.
We will not commit adultery.
We will not commit adultery.
We will not steal.
We will not steal.
We will not bear false witness
We will not bear false witness
against our neighbor.
against our neighbor.
We will not covet
We will not covet
anything
anything
that is our neighbor.
that is our neighbor.
Father, y'all give thanks for every soul that's gathered here together, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that you will open up the hearts and the minds of your people, Father, to receive your word. We pray that your Ruach, Father, will be with us on this day, Father, to impart wisdom upon each and every one of us, Father, to give utterance unto the speaker and understanding unto the hearer, so that we all may be doers. We pray for those who may still be in transit, that you would allow them to make it here safely. We pray and ask, Father, that you would allow your word to go forth unimpeded, Father, without obstacle, Father, that it be received with thanksgiving and gladness. Father, we pray, Father, that every man in the room would examine himself, Father, using your word as a standard and a benchmark in which he should achieve. And all these things we pray and we give thanks. For Shem Yehovah, Mikai Hoshua HaMashiach, Baruch HaKodesh, so be it.
So be it.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Can everybody hear me? Can y'all hear me back there? If everyone wouldn't mind muting your phone.
Hey y'all, today's September 23rd, right?
It's tonight.
Tonight, man.
Oh, the world is tonight?
That's supposed to. Today is something.
Who said that?
Yeah, been hearing all of that.
I heard it was the end of an era, but not the end of the world.
From Israel?
No.
Come out from stars and all that.
Oh, yeah?
I put the video on the
Said it was the end based on the alignment of the stars?
Constellation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they say it was the, what is it saying? What's being said?
Yeah, it's the end of
check out the
era.
video.
You said the video?
Yeah, put it in the box.
Oh, okay.
Last time, bro.
So it's the end of the era, that means the beginning of something new.
It's over.
Oh, really? You watch it? I haven't seen it. I'll check it out. I know we was talking last year about the signs or whatever showing that something was supposed to be transpiring in the stars and all that. I know we were talking about that. All right. So first things first, if it is your first time visiting with us, if you wouldn't mind standing, introducing yourself so you can be acknowledged. I know it's your first time here with us.
Chris, my kid, Felix, my grandson, Eric. I came back from the country to be here and listen to work.
Glad to have you, brother. What did I do? He dipped out. He knew this was coming, didn't he? He's like, hey, I'll be right back. He knew what was about to happen, and he didn't warn you. That's messed up. All right. So let's start off. It's not gonna be a long lesson, y'all know I'm gonna get. I don't have that long, but this is gonna be particularly short. It ain't that long. But we're gonna start off in Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and 37. Oh man, you came back right on time. You wouldn't mind introducing yourself to everybody? Yeah, you would try to skip out on us. We did that part, but it's all good. Can't hear you.
Eric from Lexington, Kentucky.
Glad to have y'all, man. Chris and Eric, glad to have y'all visiting with us, man. Whenever y'all up this way, I know it was a spur of the moment thing, like I said, but whenever you feel the urge, man, y'all more than welcome. Okay. Yeah. Y'all leaving after the night or something?
Yeah, we leaving. I gotta go work.
Okay. So y'all came up.
Right up here, we're like, all right.
That's what's up. Like I said, we're glad to have y'all, man. Consider yourself welcome anytime. Yeah, anytime y'all decide y'all want to come visit, man, fellowship, y'all more than welcome. That go for anybody. Y'all want to come and visit, we in the city. Just give us a shout. Y'all more than welcome to visit. So we're gonna start in Matthew 24. We start at verse 37.
One more. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
And did what?
And took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, as in the days of Noah. So they would eat, drinking, and marrying, and giving in marriage, right? What does that mean? Say again? I hear Sister Wanda voice back there, but I can't hear. What'd you say? Sister Wanda, I hear you.
Good time.
Said he was having a good time? Proverbs 18 and 22. We're going to grab that real quick.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 22. Whoso findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, and attain favor of Yahuwah.
Okay, so it's a favorable thing for a man to find a wife, right? So in that Matthew verse, it was stated like it was a negative thing. They was like in the days of Noah, they was drinking and eating and marrying and giving out in marriage. Is it something wrong with that?
The type of marriage that they were doing.
You think it was the type of marriage? Anybody else? Like specifically?
They just want to concern about the Most High, just living their life.
I think marriage, I think scripture is good if both the husband and wife are in the word of God. But if they're not in the word of God, it may not be a good thing, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because it's not here to law, statutes, and commandments. But what's to say that when they do get married, they don't come into the word of God?
Okay. So you said
Gotta look at a few angles.
you're looking at it from the angle of if they're not in the word, then it's not a good thing. But if they're in the word, it's a good thing. So these people that's mentioned in the days of Noah probably wasn't in the word. Is that the angle that's what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. I like what the brother Neil said. I ain't gonna repeat it because it was actually the right answer. But let's grab 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 32. First Corinthians 7 and verse 32. Can everybody hear me back there?
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 32. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the master, how he may please the master. But he that is married care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There's a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for the things of the master, that she may be kodesh, both in body and in ruach. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband.
Okay, so like what it's stating here is that married man and married woman are they get more so concerned with pleasing their spouse that they get sidetracked for the care of the things of the Most High. That's what it's stating here. Now, granted, this is not law. I don't want to get confused with this is the law, but this is Paul's understanding as to why he stayed unmarried, right? But when you deal with that scripture in the gospel with Matthew 24, where it said they was eating and drinking and marrying and giving unto marriage, like Neil said, they was, say it again the way you said it.
So they weren't concerned about the Most High, just living their life.
They were just living their life and not really concerned about the Most High. And so let's grab 2 Samuel 13 to 27. So from a standpoint of marrying and giving in marriage, yeah, you concerned with your spouse. Of course, every man should be, like the scriptures say. And dealing back with what Brother Theophilus said, if you're in the Word, then you deal with your spouse from a certain standpoint as it pertains to the Word. You got to deal with them accordingly as it pertains to the Scripture. But if y'all both walking this walk, then you're dealing with the Word anyhow. But if you in the world, like it's saying, you're more so concerned with the things of the world, so you want to please your woman, as opposed to being concerned with the things of the Word to please the Most High. So you get, like Neil said, live your life. You're not concerned. What was that? Second Samuel? Yep.
2 Samuel chapter 13 and verse 27. But Absalom pressed him, and he led Ammon, and all the king's sons go with him. Now Absalom had commanded his servant, saying, mark you now, where Ammon's heart is merry with wine. And when I say unto you, smite Ammon, then kill him. Fear not, have not I commanded you?
Okay. So Absalom gave a command. It said, when you see my man marry and his heart merry with wine, I'm going to give you the order to go ahead and take him up out there. Why? Why specifically wait until his heart is merry with wine? Exactly. Exactly. You're vulnerable. You're vulnerable because you're not on your P's and Q's. You relax. You know what I mean? You're not focused, right? So the same thing with the eating and drinking it. You're not really focused. You kind of relax. You're not concerned with the things that's going on around, and you're vulnerable for attack, right? Genesis chapter 7 and verse 11. Going back to Noah specifically.
Bereshit chapter 7 and verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, and the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the foundations of the great deep broken up, and the windows of Shamaim were open, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, into the ark.
So when the fountains opened and the windows of Shamaim opened, they went on head into the ark. It was about to rain. Well, it started raining. Verse 21.
Verse 21. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth.
And what happened?
All flesh died that moved upon the earth.
Uh-huh.
Both of fowl and of cattle, and of beasts, and of every creeping thing that creep upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life. All of that was in dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground. both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowls of Shamaim, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and that they were with him, and they that were with him in the ark.
Okay, so that's good. So going back to the days of Noah, said that they was eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage. Basically, they was just doing their own thing, not really focused on the Most High. And they was also, the world was full of wickedness. So the Most High, when he decided he was going to destroy everything, right? So the only people he had grabbed was Noah, who in his eyes was deemed righteous, and Noah and his family, and he allowed them to escape into the ark, right? But everybody else and everything else and every living thing perished. So going back to that Matthew, when it says, just like in the days of Noah, when all these different things were happening, when people wasn't really focused on what was going on with the Most High, it says it's just like it's going to be with the coming of Mashiach, right? When the Messiah cracked those clouds and everybody is focused on their life as opposed to what he told you to focus on. What he told you to remain steadfast in his word. What you caught up in what's happening with you every day, rather than what's happening with him every day. You know what I mean? It's not a once a week walk. And it's getting to the point where we're starting to become like church folks in the sense that this is a once a week thing. I put on my full armor every Shabbat, but for 6 days a week, when I'm laboring, I ain't laboring on nothing else. I ain't worried about this. Everything else is more important. And I'm focused on that instead of focused on this. Right? We're gonna get to it. Let's grab Job, chapter 1 and verse 18.
Job chapter 1 and verse 18. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking. Your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
Now, they was eating and drinking wine. They was, like Sister Wanda said, having a good time. Like Nell said, they wasn't really focused on what was on the things that was at hand. Go ahead.
And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell you.
So, I'll bring that out to say this. The same situation, like the scriptures say, 2 or 3 witnesses, right? So, as a second witness as to how you can be just, doing your everyday thing, and swiftly destruction could come. And this wasn't even about them. This was about Job. You know what I mean? But if they wasn't on what they were supposed to be on, that's what they call collateral damage, right? Lamentations chapter 4. Chapter 4. Lamentations chapter 4. Four and 6.
Lamentations 4 and 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughters of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom that was overthrown as in a moment.
Overthrown how fast?
As in a moment.
As in a moment.
And no hands were stayed on her.
And no hands were stayed on her. Completely wiped out in a moment due to their iniquity. So we understand the world that we live in, right? This book was written centuries ago. And it's still stated in this book, repent, for the kingdom of Shamayim is at hand. Centuries ago, right? So even unto this day, understanding the world that we live in and what's going on around us, right? We got to understand that this still holds true, that the kingdom is at hand. You know, that's stated so that people will understand the importance of focusing on the fact that the kingdom is coming. So you want to be right with everything, in right standing with the Most High, right? So it say just like Sodom and Gomorrah was wiped out in a moment's time. Let's deal with that real quick. Let's go to Genesis 14 and verse 2.
Genesis chapter 14 and verse 2. And these made war with Barah, king of Sodom, and with Bashar, king of Gomorrah, Shinar, king of Admah, Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar.
King of Bela, which is Zoar. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
All these were joined together.
All these were what?
Joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea.
Okay, that's good. So all of these different cities was joined together, right? They was together. Sodom, Gomorrah, Bela, Zeboim. All of these different cities was joined together in that same area in this plain, right? I just wanted to pull that real quick. Genesis. Blank.
What is plain?
Blank. Genesis 19. Genesis 19 and 15.
Genesis of Bereshit, chapter 19 and verse 15. And when the morning arose, the Malachim.
So, first off, before we go any further, understand that just a little backdrop. This is when the angels met with Abraham, like, yo, we're going to wipe Sodom and Gomorrah out. And Abraham prayed, like, yo, if it's just 50 righteous, if it's just one righteous, like what you say to. So they went and they found Lot, and they gonna bring Lot and his family up out of there. So, you know, this when all the men tried to get in Lot's house, we ain't gotta read it. Everybody familiar with the story, are we not? Okay. So this was that next morning when they going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, go ahead.
Bereshit 19 and 15. And when the morning arose, the Malachim hastened Lot, saying, arise, take your wife and your two daughters, which are here, lest you be consumed in the iniquity of this city.
Stop. Okay. So put yourself in Lot's shoes. Put yourself in Lot's wife's shoes. These angels, these Malachim told them, he say, they hastened them. Arise, get up out of here. We about to blow this boy up. What would you do? If they woke you that morning, get up. Let's go. Let's go. We about to blow this boy up. Lying that boy like, you already know his wife ain't want to leave, but you may not have known this. Read the next verse.
And while he lingered,
while he what?
While he lingered,
Lot didn't really want to leave either. He lingered around like, man, hold on, let me get my. They tried to rush him up out. Dude, get up. We about to blow this boy up. We got, look, you know everything with the Most High is at an appointed time. Look, let's go. They say as soon as when morning came, they like, let's go. It's time to go. He said why they lingered. So they was just lingering around the crib because Lot didn't really want to go either. You can see by the text. But what happened?
And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand.
Like, come on, dude. Let's grab it. Let's go, dog. Right. We got to go. We on the schedule here. Go ahead.
And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand and upon the hand of his wife and upon the hand of his two daughters. Yahuwah being merciful unto him.
Look what he said. Look, the Most High is already showing mercy on you. Dude, let's go. We could have let you burn with the rest of this stuff. Go ahead.
And they brought him forth and set him without the city.
So they took him outside of the city themselves. They grabbed his hand and they grabbed. Come on, dude, let's go. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad that he said, escape for your life. Look not behind you, neither stay you in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest you be consumed.
Okay, so we just read before all those different cities that was together in the plain, right? And the angels told them to go where?
In the mountains.
Go to the mountains. We're about to blow this whole plain up. It's a wrap. Go to the mountains. Let's see what Lot said.
Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my master. Behold now, your servant hath found grace in your sight, and you have magnified your mercy, which you have showed unto me in saving my life. I can't escape to the mountains.
I can't go all the way up there. Go ahead.
Lest some evil take me and I die. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape there. Is it not a little one? Oh, my soul shall live.
So he said, let me go to this little city. It's right over there. That's why when we read in Genesis 14, Genesis 14 and what verse was that? 2.
Yep.
And the king of Bala, which is Zoar. We're going to see that. Go ahead and keep reading.
He said unto him, see, I have accepted you concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow the city for the which you have spoken. Hurry up, escape there, for I cannot do anything until you come there. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar.
So the original name was this other city, but now it's called Zoar. That's why whenever you see certain cities where it say which is, and they have two names, that's because at the point where the story was written, it was named, so it was called something different, right? But originally that's what it was. But they called it Zoar because Zoar meaning in Hebrew like insignificant, nothing, like small. That's what he said. Let me go to that little city over there. It's just a little one. So he said, all right, go ahead and go to that little city. And that's why they called it Zoar, because it was a small place. Go ahead.
The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then Yahuwah rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from Yahuwah out of Shamayim. And he overthrew those cities. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the city, and that which grew upon the ground.
That's good. So everything got destroyed. But notice what it says in verse 21.
Verse 21. And he said unto you, see, I have accepted you concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow the city for the which you have spoken.
So originally, Zoar was supposed to get it too. It was going to go too. But when Lot asked him, like, yo, let me go to Zoar, it's just a little small place. Because it was a part of those same cities that was in that plain, in the Vale of Siddim. It was supposed to go. But he's like, all right, I'm not going to overthrow Zoar. I just wanted to pull that out just because I think that those little tidbits of information get overlooked when we're just reading the story, especially stories like this that everybody is really familiar with. You know what I'm saying? We just tend to overlook those little minor details like, oh, shoot. Zoar was supposed to get smashed off too. But anyhow, the point was that it happened to say when? At daybreak, right? Verse 23.
the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar.
So by the time the sun was up, Lot was in Zoar. And then that's when it came through. So it already told you in morning. When it was dawn and when that sun cracked and it was starting to come out. When it was starting to come out, that it was like they rushed up out the city. But by the time the sun was up, the city was gone. It was a wreck. So like it said in the other scripture, in a moment's time, Sodom wiped out. Right? And what was they doing in the city beforehand? All kind of wickedness. Well, you best believe they was eating and drinking and marrying and giving and just wrapped up into their own situations and not focused, because if they had been focused on the Most High, then that means it would have been more than Lot and his family that would have got up out of it. You know what I'm saying? So let's grab well, I say all that to say this before we go forward. I say all that to say this, is that understanding that we're Israel, right? Understanding that we got to keep the law, the statutes, commandments. And I taught a lesson before showing you how this is like the minimum requirement, right? Like this is the least amount that we're supposed to do. And if you cool with just giving y'all your least, cool. But if you want to give him your very best, it ain't cool. Just keeping the commandments ain't enough. You got to do more. You got to be focused on the things that he wants you to be focused on, and not get so caught up in what you got going on. And this is, notice I'm pointing a lot to myself, because this is speaking to myself as well. Like we was talking a few weeks back about how during the gathering, how when these sisters got immersed, you know what I'm saying, like that zeal and that fire, you know, that they had, it was like, I felt like it's been lost in time. You know what I'm saying? Just speaking personally, it's been lost in time, and I just done gotten complacent with just going through the motions. You know, so I'm bringing these things up to basically shed light on that. Let's not get complacent. Like the scripture that I pulled out with that lesson was, don't get weary in your well-doing. Let's not get complacent in just giving the Most High our bare minimum. And then when things start to happen in our life that's not on the up and up, then we quick to just hang our head and throw a pity party when something don't go your way. You know what I mean? But when stuff been going your way all these months, all these years, all this time, and you just giving him your bare minimum, you know what I'm saying? That means when something don't go your way, what you gonna give then? Exactly. Less than nothing. So a lot of times we get just complacent. We get caught up in our job, in our kids, in our parents, in our stuff. You know what I mean? We get caught up in our stuff. And notice the situation with Lot. The very first attack that happened on Lot was what? What was the first thing when Satan asked the Most High, or when the Most High granted Satan Job, what did I say? Lot. I meant to say Job. I'm sorry. Lot, Job. They all got 3 letters. So no, I meant to say Job. I meant to say Job. What was the first thing? See, that was a test. Y'all passed. What was the first thing? What was the first thing that Satan attacked when it came to Job? Not just his kids. Remember, that was the second dude. His stuff, his possessions, his things that normally you would have an attachment to. Job was rich. He was like the richest dude out there at the time, and all his stuff got taken away. His cattle, then his children, then all his stuff. So when the attacks come, right, and you so caught up in your things, in your stuff, in the stuff that's tangible, that you like, oh, no, my car done went down. Oh, no, my mama done guessed. Oh, no, my kid done guessed. That you lose your focus just that fast. Your focus gotta stay where it's intended. You know what I'm saying? The Most High called you out for a reason. And the reason wasn't just to get your bare minimum. Everybody is different. That's why in the gospel, it refers to us as a body, having many members. You know what I mean? If all the body got his legs, then what? What's that mean for the body? If all the body got its shoulders and no arms, then what's that mean for the body? That means it takes each and every one of y'all in this room in order for the body to move and function properly. The Most High chose you for a reason. Because you bring something else to the body, but you got to bring it. You can't just, oh, yeah, I'm an Israelite. Yeah, I know I keep the commandments, but what else? What else? What else? What you doing? You know what I mean? There's more to it. And this is just speaking. That's why I wanted to take the pause right there before we got to the scripture. Let's grab Proverbs 4:19, because this is speaking to us who keep the commandments that's deemed righteous. This is not talking about the wicked. That's something totally different. This is talking about us, the ones that's out here doing. That's caught up in everything that's going on. But the wicked is something. So I got to address it because it's there too. I can't just talk to the saints. We got to talk to the sinners too.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble.
They know not at what they stumble. The way of the wicked is darkness. They know not at what they stumble. They in the dark. They not up on what we up on. And because our eyes is open and we in the light and we walking in the light, then that means we supposed to be that much more focused. Because when a room is lit up, you can navigate, right? Torah means what? The way. When a room is lit up, you can go the way. We in light. It's illuminated. We can go. We know the way to go. But like I say, the way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble because they're not walking in the light, right? Go ahead. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
So because when somebody do something wicked, they don't get smashed on off top, then the heart is more apt to do something wicked because you feel like it's no punishment coming for it. Go ahead.
Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Elohim, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feared not before Elohim.
That's good right there. Let's go to Job chapter 21. Job 21 and 7.
Job chapter 21 and verse 7. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear. Neither is the rod of Elohim upon them. Their bull gendering, and fail not. Their cow calf.
That's good. Read verse 9 again.
Verse 9. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of Elohim upon them.
Verse 13.
They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave.
And how fast?
In a moment go down to the grave.
Verse 18.
They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carry away. Elohim lay up his iniquity for his children. He reward him, and he shall know it.
So this. I pull this out because it's dealing with the wicked. Verse 20.
His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9. So it's talking about how fast the wicked are taken away, but it also talks about, I wanted to pull out, like I said, the Sodom and Gomorrah, the days before the flood, and specifically how Hamashiach said that it's going to be the same way in the day of the Son of Man return, right? Swift, quickly. Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 12.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. But man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare. So are the sons of men, snared in an evil time.
Snared when?
In an evil time.
So snared. So are the sons of men, snared. Snared being caught in an evil time. What time we living in now? Go ahead.
When it falleth suddenly upon them.
How fast?
Suddenly upon them.
When it falls suddenly upon them. So when it happens, it's gonna happen fast. You ain't gonna have time to. Let me try to get it. When he come back, he coming, and that means judgment is set. You just are waiting to hear the words, but it's coming. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 1.
Matthew chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of Shamaim be likened unto the 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Now we are familiar with this parable, right? Okay, let's read it.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
So it was 5 wise and 5 foolish. Basically, you got 5 wise and 5 foolish. Don't necessarily say that they was righteous or unrighteous, does it? Go ahead.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go you out to meet him. And those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go you rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And when I went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
And they that were ready, they were prepared for the day of judgment when Hamashiach comes, when he come back, crack those clouds, ready to scoop up his bride, right? Those who were ready was there. Those who wasn't prepared and went to go get ready, it was too late. Go ahead.
Afterward came also the other virgins saying, Master, Master, open to us. But he answered and said, Truly I say unto you, I know you not. Watch, therefore.
Do what?
Watch, therefore. For you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man comes.
So it says, watch therefore, because you know neither the day nor the hour when the Son of Man returns. So be prepared, right? We got to be prepared for the day that he come back. If we, I don't know. I didn't know nothing about the September 23rd. This ain't in promotion of that. You know, I don't know nothing about it. But I'm just saying, for us as believers in keeping the commandments and believers in Hamashiach and him actually returning, we got to be ready. We got to be prepared. We got to be focused. We can't get so caught up in our everyday life that we lose focus on the things of true importance. You know what I mean? How many cars you done ran through in your life? You get another car, you to come back. But guess what? Just because something happened to your stuff don't mean lose sight of who gave you this stuff in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You might not have never had one at all. You got shoes on your feet, you got the ability to walk. You know what I mean? So just because you ain't on a certain level or the level that you know, it don't mean stop looking to achieve. But at the same time, your focus has to be elsewhere and things will happen for you. And we're going to get to that. Let's go to Romans chapter 13 and verse 11.
Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. But now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Let us cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. The day is far, the night is far spent. The day is at hand. We're getting close to the time that something is going to happen eventually. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like we go back to where it's talking about the wicked and things don't happen swift for them and they're not taken out quickly. So it's looked at as that, oh, I'm good. I ain't gotta, because the punishment don't come, right? So because things haven't happened, we get real complacent. And it's just like, yeah, you know, I'm here, I'm doing it. But where's the fire? Where's the zeal? Where's the desire, that intense desire that we once had to please the Most High? It gets lost in time. It gets put on the back burner because the basketball game is on, or the football game is on, or the fight is happening, or whatever else you got going on that make you lose focus. Don't mean that you don't have time to do what it is that you enjoy doing, but what it means is don't lose focus on what we're supposed to be focused on and let that stuff supersede the things of importance. You know what I mean? It's called priorities. It's called priorities. Some things are more important than other things, and that's just it. You might enjoy doing some things more, but some things are just more important, and it's called priorities. And a lot of times, we don't make the Most High a priority, but let something happen to us. Let something happen to us. We want him to hear every last word. Father, please, I just need. And we want to be the priority. I know you got a whole world to look after, but make me the priority because I need you right now. You know what I mean? So it's just like the old adage goes, you got your priorities mixed up. You got your priorities out of order. It should be one thing that's number one on everybody's list. And that should be pleasing the Most High. Period. Everything else is going to fall into place. It's going to happen. But don't lose sight and lose focus on pleasing him because you caught up on trying to make something happen. Matthew 24 and 42.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 42. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your master do come. But know this, if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be you also ready.
Be what?
Be you also ready. For in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man comes.
Be you also ready, because as soon as you get comfortable and you start to, I don't really gotta, do I really gotta, I don't really, and you start to justify doing things in your own mind. The Most High understands, or I'll repent for it later, or whatever logic you use. Like I say, if the master of the house would have known that the thief was coming, he'd have been right there waiting on him. But because you don't know when it's going to happen, because, matter of fact, grab Revelation 16 and 15. Because you don't know when it's going to happen, you got to always be ready.
Revelation 16:15. Behold, I come as a thief. Increased is he that watch, and keep his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
So increased is he that watch, that's paying attention, that understand, that we like I say, it's high time now that we wake out of sleep, understanding that our salvation is nearer than ever, right? We're getting to that point, right? And so it ain't cool to violate the law. Not to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay. Because when he coming quick, just like a thief in the night. In the night when you sleeping, you resting, you comfortable. But it says increased is he that watch. And understand that when these things is going to happen, and keep your garment, lest you be caught naked. Like you say, like we say all the time, like if you ain't ready, if you ain't got something, we use the slang, man, I was butt naked. Because you wasn't ready. You ain't have it. You ain't have what you needed. You wasn't prepared. It's the same analogy. Right? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1.
First Thessalonians chapter 5
Verse 1.
and verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write to you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the master so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them.
Okay, stop. So take it from the top. Read it from the top.
Verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write to you.
But of the times and the seasons, y'all being in this word, in this walk, in this truth, y'all really don't have a need for this lesson. I say talk to you instead of write to you in the letter. I'm gonna give you the version that's gonna work for what we got going on right now. Because y'all well aware of the situation. So it's not a need for me to say these words to you. Go ahead.
For you know good and well.
Because you know good and well. Go ahead.
That the day of the master so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness.
You're not in darkness. Go ahead.
That day should overtake you as a thief. You are all the children of the light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of the darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others. Let us watch and be sober.
But watch and be sober, not sleep, as other people do. So Just like we dealt with the situation, like I was saying, that it's a difference between the wicked and the righteous, right? As it pertains to when destruction comes. You know, righteous is preserved, like we see with Noah and with Lot. The wicked is destroyed, like we see with everybody else, right? So understanding that the day is coming when the Son of Man is going to return, and the order is to be watchful, be mindful that this day is going to happen, right? So be focused. When you watch something, that means you focused on it. You paying attention to what's happening, right? Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 18.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 18. The way of the wicked, that's 19. Verse 18. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shines more and more until the perfect day.
That shines more and more until that perfect day. What perfect day you think is it talking about? What perfect day do you think it's talking about? Like I was saying before, when it say when you're righteous, it's light. You can see which way to go, right? So it's saying that the path of the righteous shines more and more as you approach that perfect day. Because we understand the signs of the times is key in understanding that it's getting bad. It's a wicked work. It's getting bad. Let's not lose focus. Let's not get so caught up in our own life that we lose sight of the life that was given us, or the life that we have coming, that everlasting, right? That's the goal. That's what we should be focusing on. Matthew 6 and 33. We almost did it, y'all. I told you it was short. Six and 33.
Matthew, Yahoo, chapter 6, at verse 33. But seek you first.
Do what?
But seek you first.
Second.
But seek you first.
We're talking about priorities, right?
But seek you first the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness.
And your own righteousness.
And his righteousness.
Self-righteousness.
And his righteousness.
What you got going on.
And his righteousness.
Seek you first the kingdom of Shammai and his righteousness, and then what will happen? And
all these things shall be added unto you.
And all these things that you think is a priority right now, they're going to happen. They're going to be added. Because you seeking that first, he's going to, like I say, what is it for the Most High to make a man rich? It's nothing. You know what I mean? Wealth is nothing. Worldly wealth is nothing as it pertains to the Most High. He can get that to you easy. But the scripture is specific in seek you first the kingdom, and then everything gonna be added unto you. Let's grab we're gonna end off at 1 Kings chapter 3. Seek you first the kingdom, right? Let's not get complacent in stuff and in what's happening in our lives and compromising situations as it pertains to the Father. Don't compromise.
1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 1.
Verse 5.
Verse 5, what's up? In Gibeon, Yahuwah appeared unto Solomon in a dream by night. And Elohim said, ask what I should give you.
So, the Most High asked Solomon in the dream, what you want? What do you want? If the Most High asks you right now, what you want? This is about self-examination, right? This ain't nothing you got to share with nobody. But just think about it in your own heart, in your own mind. If the Most High asks you right now, What do you want? Ask what I should give you. Go ahead.
And Solomon said, you have showed unto your servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before you in the truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with you. And you have kept for him this great kindness, and you have given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Yahuwah my Elohim, you have made your servant king instead of David my father. And I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And your servant is in the midst of your people, which you have chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitudes.
Stop right there. So when Solomon was given the kingship, he felt like that he wasn't worthy. He didn't know what to do. He was given something that was more than he had the ability to handle. He like, I'm just a boy. I don't know how to go in or come out. And I'm supposed to govern this great nation of people. So great they can't even be numbered. Let's see what he asked for.
Verse 9. Give therefore your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this so great a people? And the speech pleased Yahuwah that Solomon had.
So Solomon is like, look, I've been handed this overwhelming task of dealing with your people. I don't know what to do. So the only thing I can ask for is give me the ability to do right by them. They're your chosen people. You giving me the leadership over them. Only thing I want is the ability to do right with what you gave. Everything that we've been given, right? Not just talking about things and stuff, but whatever it is that we've been given, we got families, we got whatever it is that you treasure, that you value, that you feel like that the Most High give you as a gift, right? That it's kind of overwhelming at times. So imagine Solomon giving a whole nation of people to rule over. And he could have just been like, whatever, I got this. Yo, you go over there and do this. But no, he asked the Most High, give me the ability to deal with them righteously. Because they was his prized possession. Right? Go ahead. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And the speech pleased Yahuwah that Solomon had asked this thing. And Elohim said unto him, because you have asked this thing, and have not asked for yourself long life, neither have asked riches for yourself, nor has asked the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to your word.
So because you asked for this thing, and you didn't ask for something for yourself, you didn't ask for something that even though that was his gift, it wasn't for his benefit. You understand? His gift was to benefit the nation. We all been given gifts. We all been given gifts in this room. Every last one of us that's of the understanding that we in this truth, walking, we part of the body of Hamashiach, right, have all been given gifts. How are we using them to uplift the people? Because that's what was important. Because you asked for something not for my benefit. I don't want to be able to sing good because I want people to pat me on the back and be like, man, that boy is good. I asked to sing good because I want to praise you. Or I want to lead your people into worship. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me, it's for them. And people will say stuff like that, you'll hear this. Well, I asked for money because you know how many people I can help? If I had a whole lot of money, I would just help people. Beat it. I ain't buying it. Beat it. I ain't buying it. Because you can help a whole lot of people without money. It don't take money to help a whole lot of people.
What type of help that I want to give them?
You don't take money to do anything, to do everything, rather. It's a tool just like anything else. Continue.
Behold, I have done according to your word, though I have given you a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like you before you, neither after you shall any arise like unto you.
So I gave you exactly what you asked for. The most understanding and wise heart ever. Go ahead.
And I have also given you that which you have not asked.
And because you asked for this type of gift, I give you that stuff that you didn't even ask for. Seek you first the kingdom of Shamaim and his righteousness, and all these things going to be added unto you. Right? Go ahead.
Both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto you all your days.
All your days. So the message that I want people to take away, I mean, it's little small messages in everything, but in the grand scheme of things, the message that I tried to convey, that I want people to take away from this, is that we get so caught up in everyday life that we tend to lose sight of those things that's truly important as it pertains to this walk, as it pertains to the Father, as it pertains to the Most High, because without him, we got nothing. Without him, we nothing anyway. So the message is to not, if you're at the point where you are caught up, understand where your focus and your priorities should be. If you get to the point where you feel like how I feel, like you don't have the fire and the zeal and the excitement about this thing that you once had, it can be reattained. It's just gonna take you to actually do something. And I understand that. You know, and I hope that y'all understand that if y'all in that particular situation. So does it feel like that, you know, as a whole, we may be in that situation to where we kind of just lost that drive. You know what I'm saying? That drive that we once had, that it didn't take much for us to do something that was like, we didn't have to have a building and tables and chairs, and we could just get together and go to the park and like, we gonna do this. By any means necessary. You know what I mean? I think that we may have kind of just get complacent. You know what I mean? And it happens. You know, it happens. You know, but the Father will, like the scriptures say, renew your strength, right? The race not won by the swift. We got to stay on task, stay focused, stay on par. Eyes set on the goal, watching that path, that straight and narrow path, right? Navigating through that joint the way we're supposed to, and not getting caught up with what's happening over here or what's being said over there, or who's, you know. We gotta let's shed that stuff. Let's shed that stuff. Focus on the Father. Focus on what it is that we need to do, and just let stuff happen the way it's gonna happen. Don't mean sit on your behind. This ain't a sit on your behind type of situation. It don't mean sit on your behind and let life happen behind you. It means get up and work toward the kingdom and its righteousness, and let the Most High bestow upon you those things that He have laid up. Because it's gonna happen. That's what the word wouldn't say it if it wasn't. And if you believe in the word, then you gotta believe that. Right? That's all I got for y'all. Y'all got any questions or any comments, anything to add? Raise the call.
I'm ready at the streets now.
No questions? Okay.
We just got comfortable. dinner. And I refuse to sit down on the most side while I'm in the midst of needing something. I really need him to do something right now. And it's for my mom. I know some other people might be doing something. And we as a whole, I'm asking, please, let's come together. It's like yesterday, feast day. I was so, my spirit was so reflected. I wish I could have done more. And after yesterday, if I have to bring her with me, I'm going to have to start stepping up to try to do more because I really need the Most High to step in because the enemy is trying to take my mind out. And I know that Most High has all power. And I ain't giving the enemy no victory because I know the Most High can do anything.
Right.
But I'm asking all of those that say, that believe in the Most High, to pray that we get stronger in the Most High. Because it's no plan. It is no time for us to be playing. There's no time to be playing. I'm asking right now, please, let us join together as a family and serve the Most High the way He's supposed to be served. Let us get rid of excuses and all of this stuff and come together and let's work together. I step off today saying that as of today, I'm going to do everything I can to make the work for the Most High easy as possible on my behalf. I can only do what I can do. And as of today, I'm not using no more excuses. I'm not putting fingers anymore. I'm going to do what I can do as much as I can do. We're trying to take care of my mother. I've had to quit my job to step out and take care of my mother. And I'm asking everyone, please, let's come together and stay in prayer and do the work of the Most High while we have a chance because of that, we might not have a chance.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm begging you, please let's work together as a family because I ain't got time to play. I really don't have the time to play. Right now, I'm going to take care of my mom. I don't have time to play. There ain't no playing game, mom.
Right.
I'm just asking everyone, please. I just really want to have to go to the party. Yesterday, it really took me to the point where I'm like, I just can't stand it no more. I just feel a whole lot of people really complaining. Everybody throwing fingers. I can't do it no more. We got to come together, y'all.
Right.
We got to. It's time. It's time, y'all. That's all I got to say.
And I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. And it can't be a situation where anybody is pointing a finger at anybody else. You know what I mean? If that person is not taking it upon themselves to step up, and you know, everybody got to step up. Everybody got to step it up. And I always use myself as an example, and I'm not shy in expressing how I personally feel. You know, and I feel like that, you know, like I said, they just get, you know, you kind of get lost. You kind of get burnt out sometimes. And if everybody put forth maximum effort, I don't think that would be an issue. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of times, man, we just kind of used to somebody else doing it. That when that person don't meet our own expectations, that we kind of like, yo, what's up? But we gotta have expectations of ourselves. We have to have expectations of ourselves to just do more. I agree with you 100%. Do more. Stay focused. Stay focused. Like we talk. I ain't gonna go there, but I mean that's the message, and I'm right there with you, sister. I just hope that everybody just take this message or take this word or these scriptures and take a long look in the mirror. Just take a long look in the mirror and say, you know what, I can do more. You know, what is it that I can do in order to improve whatever it is that you see that you may have a complaint about? What is it that I can do to improve said situation and handle it from that standpoint? And that's what everything. You know what I mean? Don't be a complainer and not have solutions. Anybody else? And if you and then also, if you feel like that you didn't meet the requirements that you set for yourself, Own it. Own it. Don't make excuses. Own it. And just do better the next time. That's all we can do. And that goes with everything. I'm not a fan of people who, when they don't, you say when they give a subpar effort, that it's everybody else's fault. Well, I would have did if you would have did. No. Own it. Whatever you didn't do, own it. And say, you know what, I'll do better the next time. And that's how I approach situations. Whatever it might be. If I didn't, you know what, that's my bad. The next time I'll make sure that don't happen. You know? And that's in your, that ain't just dealing with stuff here. That's at home, in your personal life. Don't make excuses for a subpar effort. Anybody else? Okay. Let's go ahead and close out the way out there. All right. Hey, chill. You're way too active to run around here with that phone. Just go put that phone down, man. Father, Yah, we stand before you right now, Father, on one accord, asking that you will open up your ears and be attentive unto our prayer. This prayer comes from the heart. We stand here on one accord, Father, asking, Father, that you would just strengthen us. Give us the ability to look at ourselves and measure ourselves according to your word. Give us the understanding that we must remain focused and steadfast in your word every day. Give us the strength, Father, to do this thing and not be weary in well-doing, but continue to walk this thing out daily as you have given us the power already, and understand that we can walk in it because we already have access to it. Father, we pray a special prayer for every person in this room, Father, that you would cover the hearts, the minds, the bodies, and the souls of these people, your people. Understanding, Father, that we can do nothing without you, but through you, all things are possible. Breaking down strongholds and barriers are possible. Healing the sick is possible. That all these things can be done with you, through you, and by you. Father, we just give thanks right now for the healing that's going forth. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. We give thanks right now, even as we speak, for the obstacles and the barriers that are being torn down. For the strongholds that are being broken down, we give thanks right now, Father. Understanding that you have the ability to do these things. And as long as we stay focused on you, that these things can occur. That we would seek you first in our daily lives, in our daily walk, Father, that you would add unto us those things that you deem us fit to have. We just pray a special prayer, Father, over Mother Johnson right now, Father, that you would touch her, Father, in a special way. That you would refresh her spirit, Father, renew her mind, Father, strengthen her heart and her body, Father, right now. Even as we speak, Father, standing on one accord in unison, Father, touching and agreeing. All these things we pray and we give thanks. So be it.
So be it.
Avinu Shabbat Shemayim.
Avinu Shabbat Shemayim.
Ikadosh. Shenka. Tabo. Makutka. Yase. Ratsonka. Barek. Tashe. Nasha. Bashamayim. Tain Lanu. Hayo. Liki. Dikan. Usla. Lanu. Hey. Ashmatenu. Kasher. Suki. Anaknu. Lasher. Ashmu. Lanu. Ba'a. Tabinu. Lede. Masa. Ki. Hasalani. Mi. Harak. Ki. Laka. Hamam Laka. Wahagibora. Wahatipere. Lome. Ulami. Hallelujah. They've been done praying within 30 seconds. Just hold on a second.